Yo, what's up? I'm going to be reviewing a motivational video about Cutler. He's one of the most popular drug-addicted body destroyers.
I eat for function, not for taste.
All right, so this is meal number 5. It's 5 o'clock. 4 more meals to go. 4 or 5.
4 more meals? As in 9 in a day? God, this guy looks so abnormal. So many insecurities. Such a traumatized kid. A kid in an adult's body.
Cutler, one of the biggest mass monsters of the 90s. Did you know he ate over 140 eggs a day? He was eating 30 egg whites per meal.
Cracking the eggs, flipping the yolk out, throwing...
Egg whites? He didn't eat the yolks? Or part of it were yolks? Because I'm sure that he didn't eat 140 whole eggs in a day.
...it, and then having the egg whites. So it was a lot of work. I mean, there was some diets, I'm not going to lie, I ate 140 egg whites a day.
Right, egg whites. Because these guys who are on drugs don't understand that when you recommend this to other people, not saying that he did, but most of them do, that most people will not achieve anything, seeing as they cannot produce any testosterone themselves, seeing as it's made from fat. Cholesterol is the precursor to testosterone. If you don't eat the yolks, you're not going to make any gains. But when you're on drugs, yes, this works. You can eat only the egg whites.
So I was cracking eggs nonstop. I mean, I remember sitting and cracking eggs for an hour in the morning, and I would put everything in Tupperware containers, and I would just dump out. I was eating 30 egg whites a meal then.
And he would...
Look at this guy. He eats egg whites, which have some protein. That's about it, really. If you cook them, there's nothing else except for some protein. And there's some flowers there. He actually eats flowers. And vegetable sticks, which are poisonous. An absolutely horrible diet. Without drugs, you wouldn't gain 1 ounce of muscle, just nothing.
Buy an entire cow from the butcher, just to eat it all himself.
But I would buy a whole cow at a time. I had a local butcher.
Okay, that's great though. He actually did eat a lot of meat. Yes, if you eat meat, you will for sure be able to gain muscle, obviously. But what he ate before there, you would lose muscle.
And I would have a whole cow. I'd walk in the butcher shop and my cow would be hanging. And I'd say, I want, this is hamburg, this is steaks, this and that. And I would buy a whole cow.
Would you actually buy a whole cow or only the muscle meat? This guy should have been eating organs. Maybe he was. Hey, I don't know, but it doesn't sound like it. Most of these guys don't eat organs. Again, because they are on drugs. They feel like they don't need them.
And that wasn't enough.
Look at this guy. Oh my god, man. An absolute tumor builder. It just... Oh my god, man. It just doesn't even look in any way human. It's just insanely disgusting.
Picked up 140 pounds of chicken in one go. Insane.
It's a really severe mental illness. Mario Reyes said that bodybuilding is a mental illness. This, what you saw right there, it must be a mental illness. It's the same as anorexia, just the other way around. It's body dysmorphia. You just have very severe insecurities, trauma, who knows what. That's the only thing that can lead you to that. You have to feel somehow very small inside, so to speak, mentally, or you have to be actually sure. Whatever the case, there has to be something very severe to do this to yourself. It's absolutely no different from crystal meth users, heroin, whatever.
Packs of chicken, like, you know, you go to a restaurant, back of a restaurant, they have like packs of chicken. I'd buy 140 pounds of chicken at a time. So I had 2 freezers in my garage. Yeah. And one was the beef freezer and one was the chicken freezer. And then I had the eggs in my, I was a machine. All I did was eat, and I would take out 5 pounds of meat and I would eat 5 pounds of meat a day.
Okay, at least he ate a lot of meat besides the flowers and egg whites and whatever you saw there. The bodybuilders of today don't really eat a lot of meat. They eat some, But they mostly eat flowers, leaves, and rice, from what it seems like. Some dairy, maybe.
Plus the eggs.
You have to eat. And when you explain what real eating is, a lot of people don't get it. When you're trying to gain weight, you eat until you're sick, stopping only when you're about to throw up and can't
Oh my god. How is that not an ED?
take another bite. Then you wait 2 hours and do it all over again. It's not about being hungry. It's about knowing it's time to eat because that's what it takes to improve.
Yeah, they actually believe that gaining a lot of so-called muscle, which look like tumors, and that's what they have to be, seeing as they come from drugs, is as if you're improving as a human being.
Through and eat even when you don't want to.
Oh my god, look at this. The definition of body dysmorphia. It doesn't look in any way good. It doesn't look attractive to a woman. Obviously, it looks repulsive. I can tell you that right away. Ask any woman on earth. It doesn't look like a human body. It doesn't look healthy. There's no benefits. You can't move around quickly. You can't run. You can't do anything that a natural human being would do to survive. You can't throw. The body is useless and it's weak. Mario Reyes defined it perfectly. This is a very, very weak body because of how slow it is. You can't do anything with it. You can't fight, survive, hunt. It's a disability. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. This is a very, very disabled body, literally. Literally.
That's what eating is in hardcore bodybuilding.
This rice cooker runs 24/7 at the Cutler household.
I ate every 2 hours, and you talk about progression. I said, how did I do it? I mean, that's where I was spending most of the money.
How much do you think you're spending on food?
Back then, I was probably spending maybe $50,000 a year.
Back then, too. That was what, 95?
Typical body destroyer meal. Rice, which only has arsenic, maybe not as much in the 90s though. Still for sure some. And anti-nutrients, fiber and sugar, that's it. And then again, he eats flowers, literally for no reason. I mean, what's the point of eating flowers? Do you gain muscle? No. Do you improve your health? No, you completely destroy your health. Flowers are poisonous to the human body. Sulforaphane, goitrogens, actually you can already see that he may have some thyroid issues. The meat is also very overcooked. If you want to eat meat as a bodybuilder, then you should be eating raw or at the very least rare meat. Then you're getting all of the protein and all of the micronutrients, which you really need, especially when you're on drugs, because you really need to stay as healthy as possible, seeing as the drugs will destroy you. But no, he eats very overcooked meat where 50% of the protein is gone, pretty much all of the micronutrients from what it looks like because it's very overcooked. And then you also have carcinogens on top of that, as if you're not ingesting enough of them.
And I would buy 30 dozen eggs at a time from a local farm stand. So I was in college. My
At least from a local farm stand.
friends would come over and be like, hey man, you got any beers in it? And they open the fridge and it's like all eggs. It's all eggs in there.
I just eat for fuel, that's it. I eat to get big. I don't care what it tastes like. I mean, I burn my egg whites. Boy, if I even cheat on my diet with pizza, I'd prefer it burnt. I mean, anything for calories.
What's the point? If you burn the food, then you get less calories because they are burned. It's chemicals. They are very heat sensitive.
To me, it was fun. It's the consistency of it. And it's the years and years of doing it that makes the body. The main thing is the food. The food is what really builds the body to look like that.
You've got to eat every 2 to 3 hours, like clockwork, all day long. If you train yourself, you can do it. But it's all about mental strength. When you sit down to eat, You've got to
And again, you have some kind of vegetable sticks there. For no reason. None of the bodybuilders could ever tell you why they eat them.
focus and get it done.
Every 2 hours I was eating food. Every 2 hours on the clock for 20 years, like a machine.
He was like a machine.
That's crazy dedication, as in trauma. You can only do that if you're severely traumatized. There's no other explanation.
Never missed a meal, never skipped a workout.
Constant fuel. Like, how did I ever have the mindset to go to the gym every day and never miss a day, never miss a meal?
It was his dedication on another level. People might call it different things, but no. It's all about mindset, consistency, and pure dedication.
I'll tell you the most disappointing part about what I did for a living. I don't enjoy food to this day. If you called me and said, Jay, there's this wonderful restaurant opening in Las Vegas, and you say, what do you eat when you go out? There's nothing that excites me. There's no food. Oh, does mom cook her a special meal when I go back home? Or nothing.
What is the mental thing you're going through to get this food down, man?
Mr. Olympia. Mr. Olympia.
Yeah, they just want this title of Mr. Olympia, some kind of attention and validation for once in their lives. Usually because of parental neglect, they didn't get it as children. Yep, that's how bad it is.
When you're driven from a young age and your dream is to reach the...
Yep, from a young age, exactly. That's when it starts, the trauma.
I bought about 30 pounds of fish, which would last me the week because I was eating about 5 pounds a day.
It's tough. It's going to be difficult. Really difficult work. You know, it's like a 24/7 job. Eating is a job.
What they should do, and I know that this is probably never going to happen, is show the bodybuilders like him who are on this many drugs completely, fully, if you understand what I mean, because then you would be able to see what the drugs did to a certain part of their body, and that would be very off-putting to a lot of men.
If you're not eating enough and you're not eating the right food, you won't recover from training.
Imagine him standing there doing these poses, fully seeing his body, how it would look like. It would give you a whole different vibe.
If you can't handle that, just leave. You won't survive in this game. It's that simple.
Between the two a day, so I take out like 2.5 pounds. I would usually break it down into like 1 pound Ziploc bags. So anytime I brought the meat home, it was like a whole...
The meat actually looks pretty nice, except that it's pretty lean, but still. It's probably edible raw, realistically, if he buys the cows from some farm.
Sure to have us all breaking the meat down so it would be in bags so I could thaw stuff out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many grams of protein is this a day?
I was eating about 300-400 grams on a very consistent basis.
This reminds me of a video that Vandalism of Veganism made called Bodybuilding is a Mental Illness.
Boss, time to get up. You said you want to be up early. It's like 7 o'clock.
Oh man, I'm so tired. I want to do this.
Struggle to wake up due to hating their own existence. It's kind of true.
I have zero cravings. I have zero anticipation for any meal that I eat. I don't look forward to eating anything. If you ask me what my favorite food is, I don't have a favorite food. I don't like to eat anything. There's nothing specific that I like. I don't like to eat anything. I don't look forward to any meal at all.
Pretty get your money's worth.
How he's breathing. Terrible.
Answer the phone when brushing teeth.
When I'm pumping iron, I listen to Craig, Al, and Andy on Comp 92. They got potatoes. Al and Andy on Comp 92.3, the rock station. They got potatoes. Can you check my potatoes? Check my potatoes.
Maybe half an inch.
Will you check my potatoes?
Now I have repaid my debt.
You don't have to be scared. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be scared. Look.
The child is scared of him because he doesn't look human.
You have an autographed picture, right? Yeah. I signed a picture of you, you know.
Can I get a picture of it?
It's okay. You want to feel? I got softballs on my arm.
So it's obvious you spend a lot of time in the gym. Do you like, besides that, do you like cars, motorcycles, building sandcastles? What do you...
Did you see that jerk?
Someone dysmorphia or bigorexia believes that they are small and skinny.
Post-college, and I'm horrified to find he's a nerd.
You know, there are steroids involved in the sport, okay, in bodybuilding, obviously. And that's the problem with our sport, and that's why it hasn't been accepted by a lot of society, because they look at the bodybuilding and they say, oh, steroids. But they don't understand what actually goes into the sport, okay? You do what you do to be the best in what you do. You do what you do to win. If you want to call that cheating, fine, but I have the edge. And that's why I'm the best.
A man. And I'm like, for 30 grand? I'm like, dude, like...
Sex appeal.
He actually believes that the girl wanted to touch his muscles because of his sex appeal, but in reality, she just thought that he's a freak. That's it. Jay Cutler is a pretty funny guy. He's funny looking and he's unintentionally funny, I suppose, also because of what he says. He doesn't realize that he has an ED, obviously, and that he has body dysmorphia. Maybe he has talked about it, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way he talks about food and the way he forces himself to eat is exactly the same way some people don't eat at all and cannot get themselves to eat. It's the same thing, just the other way around. That's it. Really, there's no difference at all. As far as their mental state goes, they are biochemically sick people, these kind of guys. They were already, but what I mean is that, of course, also afterwards, they destroy themselves with the drugs and become even more ill. I don't know how the guy is doing right now. His face looks really strange, as if he's had some kind of plastic surgery, Botox, I don't know what, but maybe it's because he was aging really badly because of all the drugs. The more motivation you have to eat 9 meals a day, every 2 hours, go to the gym hours at a time, especially if you go every day, the more sick in the head you are. That's as simple as it is. Something must have really traumatized this guy. Nick Walker is similar, but he talked about why he's so traumatized. It's understandable why he's doing what he's doing. I'm not sure about this guy, but it's always going to be the same because these guys are really very severely destroying their bodies. It's absolute self-destruction. That it's called bodybuilding is an absolute joke, seeing as you're destroying your whole life by doing this. It really just means that you have a very strong motivation to destroy yourself. That's it. It's a drive to self-destruct. Thanks for watching.